going forward. All right, Hunter, this weekend, LA makes a big comeback after getting booed at home. I got a text last night about the home team getting booed, and they end up winning.
Yeah. I know they've had a good turnout there.
You want the attendance numbers real quick? 12,000 for LA.
That's good.
Defenders, that
DC
was 16,000, and the Dallas Renegades with 15,000, and the Houston Roughnecks with 19,000.
Yeah, they had a lot there.
Yeah,
they did. I think they were almost to mid-level filled with at Houston Stadium it's the college University of Houston Stadium.
Okay.
I think PJ Walker is still making a case for runaway first season MVP. Can we call him the XVP? Bro, that'd be sick.
And then when
he gets it, X gonna give it to you as soon as he gets it.
I mean, that's
bum, 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 tsh, dun, 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 tsh.
We need to get our theme song going. We're just gonna record it ourselves. We can't get Andre to do it.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to do it.
There's Jason. Let's see what he's doing. What you doing, man?
Not a whole lot. It happens.
We're talking XFL. Is Andre down the hall? Oh, okay. Don't know yet from the state tournament. We're trying to set that up right this second. Go ahead, Hunter. There's the standings right here in front of you. If you want to talk about that in a minute.
Oh, yeah. We'll just go ahead and look that over. We got in the East, Defenders on top, 3-2. St. Louis, 3-2. The Guardians, 3-2 after a slow start to the season. And the Vipers are sitting at 1-4. And then in the West, you have the Roughnecks sitting atop the whole XFL at 5-0. The Renegades are 2-3. The Wildcats are 2-3. And the Dragons are 1-4. You could argue, just based off straight standings, that the East has better teams than the West. We're looking at a 3-2 Defenders, 3-2 Battlehawks, 3-2 Guardians, and the only one with a winning record in the West is the Roughnecks. Now, the Roughnecks might have the best roster overall from top to bottom. I know for a fact that they do have the best wide receiver in Cam Phillips. Cam Phillips is on an absolute tear. He could probably play on most NFL teams, and basically this is what I've tried to get across to people when I'm talking about the XFL is you got to look at it as basically another tryout for these guys. They're putting tape together, and they're going to be able to take this to an NFL executive and say, look, man, just give me a shot. All I'm asking for is a shot. If I'm not mistaken, the gentleman that was, in fact, on the Battlehawks that came straight from the college game because he had been he was on probation and had to leave the University of West Virginia. It was a safety, and to go and play in the XFL instead of sitting out a whole year of college. He had an interception this weekend for the XFL, so he's adding on to his tape as well, so that teams at the next level at the NFL can really see what he brings to the table and help himself get drafted. It's all about putting the tape out there. I listened to an interview with Mike Vrabel earlier today that a podcast had did with him, and they basically asked him, when it comes down to drafting time and the combine time, does it really matter? Do the hand sides matter to you? Does arm strength matter to you? Do the interview questions matter to you? And he was like, yeah, the interviews, that kind of just tells you about the guy. You try and pry and poke and figure out more about him. He said, but the tape at the end of the day doesn't lie. He said, you might have small hands, the tape doesn't lie. You might not have the biggest arm, the tape doesn't lie. What you were able to do on the field, that's something that's going to be like that, the end-all, be-all, the tape. And, of course, everything else is going to be helpful as well, combine numbers and whatnot as well. So, he's definitely trying to get picked up by an NFL team off of the XFL. And I wouldn't be surprised, if a lot of guys kind of get shots. Like I said, Cam Phillips, there's no way Cam Phillips, a lot of people say this is a wide receiver heavy draft class. I mean, he's the best wide receiver in the XFL, and it's not even close.
Whoa.
Yeah. Okay, don't say it. Or Monty Edwards. Yeah.
He's the best passing wide receiver in the XFL.
Okay, he's the best passing wide receiver in a XFL. You're right.
It never translated over. I mean, catching a ball is completely different than throwing a ball. And he has the speed and athleticism. And Michael Irvin made the point that not a lot of 4.3 guys hunted in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
If you can't catch it, don't matter how fast you run. Whether it's playing wide wide receiver, outfield, whatever in the world you're playing. If you can't catch it,
I'm just saying, like,
keep on running.
They played 5 games, and Cam Phillips has got 31 receptions, 455 yards, and 9 touchdowns. He's averaging 14.7 a catch. Like, he's pretty good.
Not bad.
He's not bad. And I know it is against, you want to say XFL defenses. I'm like, well, that's fine. And you could say the exact same thing about wide receivers coming out saying that's against college defenses. Whoa!
The Tua played good against Vanderbilt.
I'm not gonna lie. I had a guy seriously,
Vanderbilt.
and I know who you are. Okay, like I know we went to high school together, and don't get me wrong, we're friends. Okay, and I'm not gonna say your name, but what you said really was kind of stupid. I said that PJ Walker is balling out at the XFL level, proving that he deserves to be here and possibly at the next level. Nowhere in there did I say he was a starter. Nowhere in there did I say he was going to be second string. And then I got the comment back, and he said, yeah, D1 football. First of all, he did play D1 football. He played at Temple. Okay? I don't care where he was at. I know where you played. You didn't play D1 football. Sorry. Not sorry. He played D1 football. He was a starting quarterback and is winning now against professional. They're pros. Some of them didn't make the NFL. They're pros. And he was also on an NFL roster with the Indianapolis Colts behind Jacoby Brissett and Andrew Luck. I'm not going to lie. Those are kind of some big names to be behind
Beating
right now.
the Seattle Dragons is better than beating, you ready? The Arkansas Razorbacks.
It is.
Or the Vanderbilt Commodores.
Whoever he played
or
at
the North Carolina Tar Heels.
I will agree. It is. It is.
Now, it's probably not as good as beating Appalachian State because they're a ranked team.
Okay.
They're a real football team.
Look, I'm not gonna say. I'm gonna say it probably is because it's the same thing that we say. Can the worst NFL team be beaten by Alabama?
No.
And you say no. Well, can the best XFL team be beaten by Alabama?
Probably
not. Because these are all professional athletes. At the end of the day, they are pros. They are man's man.
The easiest way to do this is how many professional linemen are on the Alabama offensive line?
Probably a lot.
Okay, then that's the easiest way when people bring that up is you say, well, how many's on the Alabama offensive line? They can play right now in the pros. Say 2, 3. Let's say 3. Give them the best thing. Say 3. Well, in the pros, there's 5 offensive linemen.
5 offensive linemen that are professionals for a reason.
Pros.
They're pros for a reason.
And so for the XFL, you probably look at it the same way. As I would equate them right now. Maybe in 2 or 3 years when the talent pool gets better, they start stealing high school talent away. If that happens. All these teams, all these could probably be better across the board. I would say Clemson, Alabama would have a shot at these teams right now.
Clemson, there are 3 programs right now.
Still,
there are 3 programs, probably Clemson, Alabama, and Ohio State, and that's because one, we all know that they are factories for NFL products,
and they probably pay their players more than some of the XFL teams.
Yes, that too, and at least 2 out of those 3 schools right now have the quarterback situation better than some of these XFL teams have, except for what I'm seeing out of Cam Phillips or what's his name? Not Cam Phillips, Walker, PJ Walker.
I just love how the Vipers were given the best odds of the year, and they're 1-4.
Tyree Jackson, I know, right? Tyree Jackson came in and replaced Cardale Jones, and both of them had been in the NFL. Tyree Jackson was drafted, if I'm not mistaken, 2 years ago. He was just a big body guy out of Buffalo. So, I mean, these guys get drafted. They're not all just bums that were bagging groceries the week before.
Hey, Cardale got benched this weekend.
Yeah, for Tyree Jackson.
You know what that proves, don't you?
Ohio State quarterback.
You can never trust an Ohio State quarterback. I'm just telling y'all. Nobody listens to me, but you can't.
We'll see about that.
Saturday, Houston at New York at 2 o'clock. Battlehawks of St. Louis.
I had to rant
and Tampa
there.
at 5.
I had to rant there because that, to be honest, is ignorance.
Dallas and D.C.
Yeah. The rivalry.
And L.A. at Seattle.
There you go. St. Louis, I'm sorry. They're going to beat the dog mess out of Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is 1-4. Did you see the fun that the fans were having at the D.C. St. Louis game? At D.C.?
They're having fun at all these games.
They're having fun. The fans, they don't care.
They're having a great time.
They're having a great time, but they made a cup snake, and it's probably the damn biggest cup snake I've ever seen.
Well, Hunter, you start thinking about,
and then Oliver Luck, the commissioner,
these leagues have, for the most part, priced out those type of fans in the lower sections.
Oh, yeah.
Now the XFL,
it's like, come on.
The players are drinking beers with the fans after the games on the field.
After the games on the field and in the locker room. They have the Bud Light Seltzer Victory Room.
Yeah, so they're doing some fun things with it. The pricing out the expensive fans. You can see that on Sunday. Say if you go to when the Panthers aren't good, when you go to the game, they'll still have the lower bowl will be a lot of empty seats because it's so expensive to go to a game, even in the upper deck for a family of four. It's over $200.
Where did the Vipers just play at last? I can't remember, because I was about to ask if it was in Tampa Bay. Like even for even with those prices being reasonably priced, and the team is that bad, they'll still pull a crowd because, like I said, the tickets, and like you said, the tickets are cheap.
Yep.
Like you want to go and see a sporting event? Who cares? Might be a couple bucks, like maybe $25 a seat, maybe.
Yeah.
Even cheaper.
All right, Hunter. We'll wait till Wednesday. Talk with NASCAR with Zach. I've got to get out of here early today. Actually,
that's perfectly fine. I got some stuff I could get.